Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the...
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have.
We've made too many compromises already, too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way, with 2 swords and maximum effort.
I will make them pay for what they've done.
Hello, everybody. Howdy. Welcome back to Natural 20. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we had an episode because a couple of reasons, very honest reasons. One, there were no kind of stories or formats that usually line up well with what I want to do on a Wednesday, where I want to complain about something, talk about something, do things that I normally may not get to on a regular basis. And also, I was watching a lot of Star Trek. I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, and I had a hard time tearing myself away. But I can tear myself away tonight because we got stuff to talk about. There are some stories out there. Today was a slow day. Obviously, this is my first bit of content all day today. No videos today because I gotta be honest, there was nothing directly to talk about today. If I did, we wouldn't have a show. There are some topics today that we are going to talk about that I could have made videos on, but then we couldn't be here tonight. And we have to be here tonight because Natural 20, we couldn't go 3 weeks in a row not doing it. And because you get out of the habit. And let's be honest, brutally honest, it's not like the show gets a lot of pull anyway. It's my solo show. You either love me or you don't, and you either show up or you don't. So I appreciate everybody being here. As usual, though, let's go over what we got going on the rest of the week. After we're done here tonight, about an hour and a half from now, I'll be over on my gaming channel, Renaissance Nerd Arcade, for some more Stellar Blade. And I figured out how to auto deliver people to it. So when this stream is over, you will automatically be sent there. You're going to automatically be redirected to the Stellar Blade stream. So I figured out how to do that. It's going to happen more often whenever I have another stream coming on. Tomorrow, Thursday, likely more Stellar Blade. We'll see what happens. Friday, more whatever happens in the week as we lead up to the weekend. And then I will be on Ballbusters as usual, 11 p.m. Eastern on Dermy's channel. There is no Saturday night driving this week because Jed's he's out of town. He's on the road. So without Jed, can't do the show. So we are taking a week off. But we will be back next week to begin celebrating Star Wars like we do every May. And we will be watching the first of the prequel trilogy. That's right. We'll be watching Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Love it, hate it. It's still Star Wars and leagues better than anything Disney has put out. So join us then. Sunday, after that, more Stellar Blade. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. No, probably Final Fantasy 14 on Saturday night. Dermy has informed me he finally got his character over there, which means more of the group is getting there. So there'll probably be some Final Fantasy 14 group play this week into the weekend. Going to try and make that happen. Sunday, roundtable, 2 p.m. Eastern. No Jed. Dre will be back. I believe Dragon Lady will be back, and I'm working on a guest or two. So we will do what we normally do, 2 p.m. Eastern every Sunday, and have our fun time going over events of the week. And more Stellar Blade and more Final Fantasy 14. And then Monday we'll start all over again, 9 p.m. Eastern with Mellow Mondays. With that all said, I think I got a good show tonight. I think we got a good show. Need a drink here. Got some topics you can see by the title. I'm having a problem with my words here tonight. I admit I am. Brain's moving a little slow. It's moving a little slow all day. We are going to be talking about the fact that the Alphabet Mafia, they're crying over entertainment. Not enough representation. Despite the fact they have been littering all of Western entertainment with their degenerate shit. but they're gonna cry. They're gonna cry victim anyway. We're gonna talk the Mufasa trailer disaster. It's only getting worse, and the director seems completely tone deaf and living in his own fantasy world. So we're gonna talk about that. The MCU hates its fans, and it's more apparent because She-Hulk's in the news again. Talk about that and the monologue tonight, leading into some of the topics. We are going to talk about the who asked for this problem. Some of tonight's topics are representative of here comes garbage. Who asked for this to be made? That is a very big question these days. We're going to get into that with the monologue and then the topic. So once again, thank you all for being here. Hit that like button and let's dive right in. So as I said, there's a big question. More and more as the, let's just say, leftist entertainment, Western industry continues to spiral out of control. They keep making movies, TV, all this stuff for audiences that I fail to see who's out there. Or if they are out there, they are teeny, weeny, tiny, a little bitty, not big at all. Because think about it like this. Yesterday, unbeknownst to basically 99% of the world and the viewing public, Disney Star Wars The Bad Batch ended. Season 3 concluded. Excuse me while I look and see if anybody cared. Because guess what? Nobody cared. Except for a very, very, very small minority on social media. Nobody was interested. So I asked the question first with that. Who's this made for? Who was The Bad Batch made for? Certainly wasn't made for Star Wars fans, actual real Star Wars fans who love George Lucas's Galaxy Far, Far Away. They don't care about Dave Filoni crap being pushed and peddled and forced into the actual lore. So who was that made for? Because I'm damn sure whatever little merch is out there barely moves. And we know I tried to find Samba TV ratings for The Bad Batch. Couldn't find it yesterday. I tried to look. Not a damn thing. And I know it's too soon for the finale, but there was nothing for the premiere, nothing for in between, nothing. So who are they making this for? Because the stands, they certainly are not any sort of large base that moves the culture. In fact, they're an infection that needs to be gotten rid of with antibiotics and good old-fashioned, I would say maybe mom's chicken soup. That works sometimes too. Maybe not with an infection, but it heals the soul. And that's what we need, soul healing. Because we look around and we see other things. Who was this made for? Doctor Who, in 1 week and a half. Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa, playing Ncuti Gatwa, will start his adventure in his fake TARDIS, his very gay adventure. Who is this made for? Who is this made for? A bunch of weirdo degenerates who cry victim when we criticize what's going on? Because look at the Doctor Who ratings. We do have those ratings. They are dropping. Ncuti Gatwa's premiere episode, we call it the 60th anniversary episode. Or I'm sorry, the Christmas anniversary. The 60th had just as low ratings, but even lower was Ncuti's Christmas episode. Basement. Plummeting into the abyss. Nobody is watching this garbage. So you ask the question, who is this made for? Right now, we have The Lion King. We're going to talk about that tonight. The Mufasa, The Lion King, a prequel to not the cartoon, not the beloved cartoon that holds up to this day and is filled with all the proper nostalgia and love that it deserves. No, a prequel to the live-action piece of garbage that, yes, earned $1.6 billion worldwide. Well, grossed. It grossed it. I don't know what the net was, really. I didn't look that up yet. But it grossed $1.6 billion. But it grossed it at the peak, the top of everybody still believing that Disney was the place to be for family-friendly entertainment. Short time after that, the curtain was lifted. We saw what was really going on. But who was that made for? It wasn't made for anybody. It was made to basically cash grab, quick buck, fool people. But now we have Mufasa the Lion King, the prequel to that. Who is this made for? Who has been clamoring for a fake story of Mufasa's, for lack of a better term, childhood as a lion cub with Scar? And we see inserts of other characters who have no business being there. Who is this made for? I haven't heard anybody ever ask for this. I haven't anybody ever question what was Mufasa's life before. Excuse me. What was Mufasa's life like before he got stampeded to death? Nobody asked this question because guess what? Nobody cares. Real fans like the actual movie. They're not asking questions of what came before because, as usual, in a situation like this, not only is it dead-end storytelling with prequel tactics, but as a prequel movie, it has no stakes. You can watch Mufasa go on whatever adventure he wants. He's still going to get trampled to death by a herd of wildebeests X number of years later. His fate is sealed. There's no changing it. All you can do is put out a piece of garbage packed with agenda. Oh, I may have stumbled on the answer here, but I'm going to ask this one more time. Who wants this garbage? We're going to talk about it as well. They've announced another prequel Mad Max film in the lead up to Fury Road, which is already disaster because Fury Rosa is already failing. Who asked for any of this? I didn't. You didn't. Because guess what? Real fans like the original source material, like these original movies, original shows, original books, comics, games, whatever they are. We like those. We actually spend our money on these things that are timeless, that continue to hold their own throughout history of pop culture and entertainment. We like what we have. We ask for things all the time, but you know what we ask for? We ask for new. We ask for moving forward, not going backwards. So I ask again, who is this made for? The question is nobody. These movies, these shows, all these things, they're not made for anybody. They're made as vehicles for the agenda. They're made as, I guess, self-important, what's the other word? Self-indulgent efforts by people who lack creativity. One could say, hey, Adam, Zack Snyder, he just put out something new. Yeah, well, it was shit. Rebel Moon, as an entirety, is garbage. It is self-indulgent. It is a narcissist playing with his own stuff, not listening to the fact that nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for Rebel Moon because it was garbage. The way it was laid out, set up, nobody asked for a garbage story like that. We want true entertainment. We want original stuff. Or if you're going to play in somebody's sandbox, respect it, grow it, make it into something that continues the beliefs, the ideas of those who put it into place in the first place. Nobody asked for this stuff, but they don't have to ask for it because the fake, I don't want to say fake fans, that's wrong. The executives, the phonies, I'll put it that way, the phonies who are put in charge of these things, they are the talentless ones. They are the ones who have not even a drop of creativity in their DNA. Look at Rafe Juggins. Look at Jennifer Salke. These people have zero quality. And I say those two together because they're married and they're happily destroying one IP through Amazon at a time. They don't make this for anybody. They make it for themselves to fluff their own egos. And in many, many cases, to push out whatever they believe. And more often than not, it is the not-so-secret agenda. It is poisonous, Marxist, leftist ideology meant to divide, subvert, destroy true freedom. Because they don't like it that we have freedom of thought. They hate actual fans because actual fans question. But when you're part of the hive mind, you don't get to question. No. You just have to go, yay, it's great. I guarantee, go look at all the Twitter interactions concerning the Bad Batch. All they do is go the same. Oh my God, it was so great. I'm crying now. I'm so depressed. It was awesome. There's never a dissenting note in any of these situations for those who claim to be a fan. Why do they make these things? They do it to support their agenda. They do it to push their agenda. They do it to satisfy themselves because then they think they've created something when in fact they've done nothing but create utter garbage. All right, I'm done. Have a drink. I say, how do you find people? Well, there's only a few of you here this evening, and I admit it's my fault because we took 2 weeks break, and people easily get out of the habit of watching a stream that isn't there at its regular time. So that's my fault. Hopefully, some people come along and will watch it on the replay and dab. But either way, those who are here in the chat and not chatting, I welcome you. Hail to the goddess and Algrim. My mom's my regulars here to keep the peace. Make me own up to my bullshit sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. Good evening, Kale. How are you? I hope you've had a good day. And that's all I see right now in the chat. If you're not chatting, that's just fine. I'm happy to have you here. It's a busy Wednesday evening as always, and I hope you have a good evening. Hit that like button. Hail, Andy Acap. How are you? Hit that like button, guys. Okay, so that's the thing. I talk about this now. This problem. And it is a problem. This who was just made for a problem? It's a problem because it's still choking out future creativity. Because anybody that has a true idea of something new, they've been pushed out. They're not there anymore. They've left. They're not even allowed in the building because leftist Marxist Hollywood only wants to put on an agenda for people. They only want to do it. And Goddess, you bring up a good point here. They want to use the things other people made, but it's not even using other people's money. They want to use everything possible so that they don't have to work or even anything. The way I see it, it's classic Marxist shit. Use other people's money to do your shit because you don't care about actually making money. You care about stealing things. So I mentioned it when in the monologue here. We'll start with this one right here. They announced it today, and I think is it the right one? Yes, I didn't get. It's not the troll account this time. I've been fooled a couple of times lately. They're making another Mad Max movie. Mad Max movie in the works 1 year before Mad Max Fury Road. George Miller wrote the story and hopes to get it turned into a screenplay for a film. This is retarded. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wants Mad Max. As our good friend Melee James, who's the first comment on this, nobody wants Mad Max without Mel Gibson. Give us old man Mad Max. Give us that. That is something we want. Give us angry old man Mad Max played by angry old man Mel Gibson. And give us that. That would be interesting. That would be fun because you know what? People want to see the original character. People want to see him in that original world, not this stupid, soy, weirdo, Furiosa-based crap world that they want to keep writing stories on. Furiosa, it's either out or about to come out, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares about the movie. People like Chris Hemsworth, but they're not going to go see this movie because he's a deranged villain in it. People like Anna Taylor-Joy, but nobody's going to go see this because she's in it because nobody cares about the character Furiosa and where she came from. Because let's be honest, Fury Road was Furiosa Fury Road. It wasn't Mad Max. It was Furious Road. It was a shit movie. I think we're far enough away at this time that I can say that and people will actually hear me when I say it because I said it then. I say it now. Mad Max Fury Road was shit. It was garbage. It was stupid and lame. There are only 3 Mad Max movies. The original, Road Warrior, and Thunderdome. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. That is the Mad Max legacy. Nothing they've done since then. Hello, Ariel. How are you? It depends. Listen, Mel Gibson, any any distancing Hollywood has from Mel Gibson is not because of his anti-Semitic tirade many, many years back, which he since did mea culpas for. That's why I'm okay with Mel Gibson these days, because he admitted it was wrong. He admitted he had a problem drinking, and he educated himself, and he has since donated time and money towards Jewish efforts to promote peace and understanding. So he's served his time in my personal jail, and he's done it. He is on the outs because Mel Gibson is essentially a conservative. He doesn't buy into the leftist Hollywood agenda, which is why they don't like to do stuff with him. He doesn't like to play their game. He wants to entertain. And he's also a religious man. He is a religious man, and we know how leftist Marxist Hollywood feels about religion. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. So, but we don't. Who asked for this? And I don't even want. I'm not even going to say that this falls into my definition right now of it being a vehicle for their agenda. It's just it's a bad idea. It's a crap idea that nobody is interested in, because people want Mel Gibson Mad Max. They don't want this at all, because it's not entertaining. It's not interesting. It's just creating retcons in a world that doesn't need it, that was pretty well defined and laid out over 3 movies in the 70s and into the 80s. I mean, it's not hard to it's not hard to understand what fans want if you listen to them, but they don't listen to fans because they don't care about us, because they hate us. They hate what we represent. They hate our passion. They hate our free thought. They hate the fact that we want something that isn't filled with agenda, that isn't trying to tell us all what to do. And what we need to do is continue actually what we're doing, very simply put. Reject this shit. Don't support it. Don't give it money. Talk about it all you want. Criticize, talk about it. That's fine, because discussions does not generate false success. In fact, more often than not, it shines a light on it, and people then shy away from it. So this is the first example of today of this right now, but there is the other one of the actual main topics of tonight, and that is the Mufasa trailer. I did a clip from Monday. On Monday, Devil and I reacted to it, and boy, we had a good time. A lot of crap. Go watch it. The video's available. We had a fun time ripping it apart. And here we are now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days later, 72 hours later. Look at this ratio. Let me zoom in so you guys get a real better look at that. Look at that ratio. 212,000 downvotes to 101,000 upvotes. Viewed 5.8 million times. That's a message. This is automatically being rejected because nobody asked for this movie. You know who did ask for it? Nepotism, like Beyonce, so her daughter can have a role in it. People who want to try and milk this franchise dry. Some people who don't understand that people like the real movie, the animated classic, and your 1.6 gross doesn't actually mean people wanted more of this. So that's the thing. They don't differentiate from the fact that people were snowed. They were buying the hypegeist. And I say hypegeist on purpose. They're tied into the zeitgeist by hype. Therefore, the hypegeist. They were sucked in. Hypnosis, even if you want to call it. Of, hey, the Disney live-action movies, they're a thing. We have to go see it. Or no. They were sucked in, and that's why it made $1.6 billion around the world. Not because it was good. Not because it was respectful, but because people were just tuned out. But very quickly now, since then, they've tuned back in, and nobody's asking, nobody wants these god-awful Disney live-action remakes. And this isn't even live action. It's all goddamn digital. There's no flesh and blood in this movie. Nothing. Everything is fake. But you know what? That doesn't stop the creator, the director of this, from mouthing off and saying some stupid shit. Barry Jenkins responds to criticism that Mufasa is part of Soulless Machine. Jenkins defended working on his forthcoming prequel after Disney released the first trailer this week. Let's read this together. Benny Jenkins isn't necessarily feeling the love from every social media commentator over the involvement of Mufasa the Lion King after the Disney prequel released its first trailer this week. After screening footage at CinemaCon earlier this month, the film's trailer was released online on Monday and features narration from Rafiki John Connie, once played by the, oh God, who played it originally? I don't remember. He was Benson. Suddenly forget the actor's name. R.I.P. Rest in peace. I forget his name suddenly. You guys will catch you up on that. But explaining that the movie offers the origin story for Mufasa, the lion patriarch for 1994's classic animated The Lion King, and Jon Favreau's 2019 piece of crap fake movie. Jenkins took to X, formerly Twitter, on Monday to share the trailer, and his post was greeted with both favorable responses by stans who just stand there waiting for the Disney dog to shit in their mouth or shove its dick down their throat. They're not real. With criticism apparently stemming from backlash to Disney's trend of reimagining its previous animation hits. It's not backlash, it's total outright rejection. One user wrote, "Barry, you're too good and talented for this Iger's soulless machine," referring to Disney CEO Bob Iger. Well, I don't know if this guy's talented. I have no idea what he does. But if you're taking part of this, I question your talent. I question your sincerity. I question your creativity if all you can do is vomit out this type of crap. The filmmaker, whose 2016 drama Moonlight, never heard of it, won 3 Oscars, still never heard of it, responded to the comment by defending the original 1994 animated film, which takes inspiration from William Shakespeare's classic play Hamlet. Yeah, no shit. All right. Let me have a drink. We'll read this. Oh, thank you, Ariel. Bob Guillaume. Bob Guillaume was fantastic. Bob Guillaume was incredible. Here we go. There is nothing soulless about The Lion King. For decades, children have sat in theaters all over the world experiencing collective grief for the first time, engaging Shakespeare for the first time across aisles in myriad languages. A most potent vessel for communal empathy. Barry Jenkins, April 29th, 2024. Wow. How's that for dodging the question? The person asked, how can you do your prequel for Disney as it currently is? He didn't say, he called current Disney soulless. Nobody called The Lion King soulless. This is twisting the narrative in real time to deflect that you have just put a nice big steamer on a silver platter and you expect us to gobble it down and say, good man, have some more. No, that's not it. He just completely changed the subject to dodge the fact that he has no answer. He has no answer outside of, I'm black and they paid me money because I'm black. Probably. Excuse me, hiccups. God damn it. In the middle of a segment. Never without fail. I'll get the hiccups in the middle of the stream every damn time. This response was spurred under another commentator who recalled having interviewed the filmmaker at Toronto Film Festival when Moonlight first debuted to write, that Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said what you just said. Jenkins appeared to interpret the comment as criticizing him for working on a family-friendly project and replied, bruh, what kind of logic is that? How about this? Here are a few videos from the same Barry Jenkins who premiered Moonlight, showing some of the things I was doing in my spare time. At the same time, I was writing Moonlight. Jenkins then included videos from that time in which he discussed his work and advocacy that centered on children. Once again, these are two mutually exclusive topics that are being discussed here. The second person says that Barry Jenkins that made Moonlight, which clearly this person liked, says that guy wouldn't make a soulless movie like Mufasa the Lion King, because this is soulless. This is empty. It is a failing attempt at a cash grab that there's no cash to be grabbed. So that right there is also this dude. He's living in a fantasy world. He is not understanding. They're not asking him about the Lion King. They're not asking him about Moonlight. They're asking him about Mufasa, which is just it's a movie nobody asked for. It's a story nobody asked for. When the commentator then responded that his initial remark was referencing the post stating that Jenkins is above Iger's soulless machine, Jenkins responded, "You said, and that Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said what you just said, but it's cool. You said it. I responded. It's done. I'm going to back to work now. Much respect." Yeah, this is coping. This is dodging. This is retreating, realizing that people are rejecting what he's about to put out. This is the December 20th release. This is going to be a Christmas holiday bomb. $200 million minimum budget. Disney's going to lose probably a couple $100 million on this movie. I said it on Monday. I'm going to say it again here. This movie probably doesn't break $100 million in the States. Probably barely breaks $200 million worldwide, because this isn't The Lion King. It's Mufasa. They threw The Lion King in there hoping that a bunch of retards will read it wrong and not properly realize they're not seeing The Lion King. They're seeing Mufasa the Lion King, a prequel. It's that old Distinguished Gentleman tactic from the Eddie Murphy movie, name recognition. They're going to try and trick you with name recognition to get you into the theater. What else we got? A third user praised Jenkins as an extremely talented director and noted very little good can come from the filmmaker addressing social media criticism. Jenkins replied, "Yeah, there's a quota, and I just hit it." Well, that speaks to the whole concept of, if you are promoting something, there's one single tack you can take. We made this in good faith. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. That's all you need to say. We have a history lately of creators, Jonathan Nolan, Bo DeMeo, of coming out and saying reckless, stupid shit that has nothing to do with the product they actually created, which, and for all intents and purposes, has been well received. We're talking X-Men 97 and Fallout TV series. Mostly well received. But their pre-release comments were detrimental to getting out the product and incurring goodwill. Barry Jenkins, whatever his credentials are, coming out and fighting with people on social media, continues this trend of people poisoning the water before their product is even released, and just then relying on the product to speak for itself. Because then if the product just speaks for itself and they didn't run around behaving like idiots, then all we can do is review the product and say whether it was bad or good. We don't waste our time like this talking about an idiot who is responding to questions with responses that have nothing to do with the actual question. So this is stupid. Barry Jenkins needs to shut up. Now, I don't think we're going to have a Fallout or X-Men 97 situation where the product will actually make up for the bad early presentation. No, Mufasa the Lion King is going to be utter dog shit. We go back to the breakdown the Devil and I looked at on Monday. They showed what looks like Timon and Pumbaa fighting Scar, and Timon possibly being the person to give Scar his scar. How retarded is that? Anybody that think that that's a movie that has heart, that's a good idea, and has soul, guess what? You go get a job at McDonald's. Go get a job at McDonald's, reading the receipts that the computers print out, because that's all jobs at McDonald's are. So this is the problem that we are talking about tonight. Who asked for this? Nobody asked for this. This is this dude's self-indulgent, narcissistic piece of work, and he clearly doesn't have two brain cells to rub together if he doesn't tell the difference between The Lion King, which has soul, heart, and love and passion, and Mufasa the Lion King, which is made for soulless Disney. All right, I'm done. Real quick, because I see it there. Let me go get it because I can only look at it in studio. Fernandez T for a $10 super sticker, and you can't sit here, but I see it, and it's just a little pear dude. Give me a bow. Thank you, and thank you, Fernandez T, for the $10. All right. And I hear you guys asking some questions. Is this guy gay? I don't know if this guy's gay. I don't know. I didn't do my research on him. Now, hello, Jaden Hamilton. How are you? Okay, now this is clarifying. Ariel's clarified. Ariel thinks that this movie's going to cost him 400 total between budget and marketing, which is a realistic belief. It realistically could be that much. I'm not going to toss that out. But the movie budget itself is minimum 200, like we looked up a few days ago, and it's likely going to be a lot of marketing, especially because it's a Christmas movie. They're going to try and get the kids to make mom and dad go out and take them to this on Christmas, or not Christmas, well, Christmas week. It's coming out on the 20th. I have no idea what day Christmas Day is this year. You know what? Let me look real quick. Let me bring up old calendar. Let's go down to December. Have a look. Christmas Day is a Wednesday this year. So they're dropping it on a Friday. So they're going to try for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're going to try for a 6-day premiere for this movie to try and roll it into Christmas Day. They're thinking people are going to go to this on Friday and they're going to roll out numbers, not for Friday to Monday like we usually get. They're going to roll it out all the way to Christmas Day and try and fudge those opening numbers. I guarantee it. Boy, do I guarantee it. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a point to remember right there. Bring that up again on the next time we talk about this. Well, here's the thing. We looked at it on Monday. The live action, I say that very with a lot of hesitation. We'll say Favreau's live action, Favreau's Lion King, that made $1.1 billion on the rest of the world. It made a lot of money because it was the Lion King. This isn't the Lion King. I don't think people are going to be snowed that way. I just don't. I do not. Let's see. So let's keep moving on because we are on a bit of a schedule here tonight. We got to get this. We got to roll on through this stuff. So we talk about Disney. We talk about Disney and the fact that they're soulless, they're empty, and they hate the fans. Well, we had another little story drop. We know the MCU is struggling. It's struggling hard. They have nowhere to go. Deadpool Wolverine is going to be an anomaly. It'll make some money, probably 750, 800 million. We don't know how much profit that's going to be. We need to see the actual budget and the marketing for Deadpool Wolverine, but it'll make a splash. It'll probably be somewhat satisfied, but it won't change the MCU because people hate the MCU. Nobody wants it. And you know why they hate the MCU? Because the MCU hates them. Remember a little show called She-Hulk? I know I do. I covered most of it. I tapped out on the very final episode because it turned out to be one giant troll job. It wasn't even trying to tell a story. Jessica Chow, the showrunner, the writer, the director of many of those episodes, she created a show purposefully to troll the fans. So now here comes Tatiana Maslany. Tatiana Maslany, have we heard anything from her in terms of work since the failure of She-Hulk over a year ago? Have we? No, I don't hear anything. Because Tatiana Maslany, who is a decent actress, keeps shooting her mouth off, and people might understand that she's not a draw. She-Hulk star praises how series creator used the Marvel show to attack fans. What's fun about it is that she built into the story that people were going to troll us. No, it's not so much she built it in there. She purposely created it to create her narrative of how toxic fans are. Let's read this. And yet another running defense for one of the few series that objectively does not deserve it, She-Hulk attorney at law star Tatiana Maslany has once again praised how series creator Jessica Gao crafted the Marvel television outing to specifically attack the franchise's sexist critics. The first actress to portray the Jade Giantess in live action offered her latest compliments to Gao's intentionally combative direction on the near universally panned Disney Plus show during an April interview given to UK news outlet The Independent. Oh, stellar source, The Independent. The Independent. Asked by the outlet's Tom Murray how she was able to handle the inevitable wave of sexist backlash series. Okay, our response to the show was not based off of sexism. It was based off of hatred for how they treated She-Hulk, hatred for how they treated every other character in the show, hatred for how they treated the fans. It's not about hating women. It's about hating what you do to characters and how you reply to us, the passionate ones who give a damn. A disingenuous accusation, as despite the protagonist's gender, if She-Hulk had actually been a quality production, the storm of criticism leveled towards the series would have been much quieter. Exactly, if not non-existent. Maslany affirmed, I think what's exciting, I think what's fun about it is that Jessica Gao built into the story that people were going to troll us. When we started to get some same responses, she'd actually baked into writing. It felt like part of the fun. Yes. This is them saying the quiet part out loud. Honestly, that's what this is. This is the elites, the fart sniffers, the commies, people who like to live in their towers and look down upon us plebes, us peons, us peasants, and say, oh my God, you don't like it? Well, we were prepared for you not to like it, so we wrote it in there. They don't get it. By you saying it was fun, it shows you never cared about making the product good. You never cared to entertain anybody. You just wanted to push your feminazi agenda, and you wanted to attack the people who you should be bending over backwards to please every single minute of your pathetic, fake, pretender life. It was fun. It felt like part of the fun. No, you disgust me, Tatiana. You disgust me. You had no business being She-Hulk. If this is the attitude in there, Jessica Gao, we know, had no business writing She-Hulk because it was just an excuse to attack people. It's not prognostication to put in the people would be angry at this because they knew we were going to be angry. They did it to troll us. But it wasn't the win they thought it was because this show's never going to get a season 2. As noted above, this is not the first time Maslany has praised Gao's work on She-Hulk. Pressed during an October 2022 interview with Variety as to how she felt about the series season finale tackling some of the exact same trolling comments that Marvel fans are making, the actress affirmed Jessica Gao is a genius and knows about the culture we're living in and her position in it when she's writing these stories about a woman superhero. She knows what the responses are going to be. As a cast, it was delightful sending each other to these troll responses. Like, oh my God, give them a week. And then they're going to literally see this pop up in verbatim in the show and become the villains of the show. It was thrilling. This is the standard meme of the person who just won the bronze medal celebrating like they're a champion. Predicting that we're going to hate it is not the win you think it is. It shows that we're smarter than you are, that we figured you out, that we knew where you and Gao and every other fat cow in that writer's room, because remember, it was a writer's room of women, directed by women, produced by women, starring cow-mouthed women. We knew exactly what you were going to do. Exactly what you were going to do. We predicted it. We look smart. You look stupid for being predictable trolls, for being predictably filled with hate. So this isn't the win Tatiana Maslany thinks it is. This is the win that these people pushing her and Jessica Gao think it is. Where's Jessica Gao? She gotten any work since then? Remember, they spent $200+ million on She-Hulk and earned nothing except contempt from actual fans. Good Lord. It's pathetic and sad. Is there anything else to this? Yeah, all right. This is just rehashing the old shit. Yeah, let's remind us that they cucked Daredevil, turned him into a cuck, made him do the walk of shame. It was pathetic. She-Hulk was one of the worst things ever produced by Disney MCU. It's one of the great. Well, hell, listen, I didn't even get it. It wasn't even worth my time in the end when I reviewed it. It was not even worth my time. Didn't really help the channel, and all it did was piss me off. Not even in the good way. Because it's one thing to review something bad and roast it and troll it and make fun of all stuff, but it's another thing to roast something and try and give an opinion when they didn't even write it to be a story. She-Hulk was not even written to be anything. It was written as a scam. It was not written to be a show. It was written to be a hate-filled agenda vehicle to shit on actual fans of She-Hulk and Marvel. So keep laughing, Tatiana. Keep laughing, because guess what? The joke's on you. We got you figured out. We always had you figured out. And now we're just going to keep mocking you like this. All right, done with this one. It's pathetic. It really was pathetic to have her walk out like that. She actually thinks this is a winning arc. I'm seeing that a lot lately, honestly. A lot of these toads, a lot of these pieces of shit, they'll post something, they'll say something, and they think they just dropped some super win, some super own on us. And in fact, all they do is reveal that they are as fake and empty and soulless as the mega corporation they work for in Disney. So yeah, it's not a shame. This just burns it all down faster, frankly. Burns it all down faster, and I'm happy to have it burn down. Because listen, if they did a She-Hulk season 2, would I review it? No, because I don't do it. That was it for me in the MCU. I don't do MCU anymore. That was it. That was my one last chance to see if I could somehow find a way to review that garbage. But I am never going to review MCU again, because what's the point? I'll talk about its failures. I'll talk about it losing money. I'll talk about its people commenting around it, but I'm not going to watch it anymore. There's no point, because it is dead. The MCU is dead and dying. It's not going anywhere. They're not going to make it really to another Avengers movie. They're not going to make it to another reboot. They're not going to get there because the interest is gone. Deadpool Wolverine, I said it before, I'll say it again, not going to move the needle. What do they got after that? Black Falcon, Captain America with another Falcon who's a Latino dude in it now, with a bunch of Incredible Hulk characters. That's not going to do anything. That's not moving the needle. What else they got? A couple TV shows they're going to shit out on the Plus. Nobody's watching this. Done. It's over. There's no excitement. There's no theories. There's no, what's going to happen next? I guarantee. Go around, listen for it. Nobody's theorizing what the next big thing for the MCU is. Nobody's wondering where a story's going, because guess what? There is no story. There is no story. Just like there was no story for She-Hulk. There was no story there. It was fake. It was a put-up job just to troll us all. It's multiverse, Ariel. It's multiverse. Because they in the first teaser trailer, they showed scenes from the Avengers. So it's multiverse. It's part of this multiverse crap that they're continuing to try and run with. So it's there. And they make fun of Kevin Feige in it. They tease it. So it's MCU. Deadpool is now MCU. But it doesn't change anything. It's not going to be an exciting story anybody's really looking forward to. Ugh. So it's we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see, but it's not. It'll make its money, and then it'll be done. But there's nothing else in the MCU. I ask you guys, look it up. Is there anything in the MCU that is even remotely going to be remotely profitable? There isn't. They don't even know what they're doing. Oh, I forgot to mention Fantastic Four. You ready for Fantastic Four in 2 years? You ready for that? No. Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic. Female Silver Surf her. Likely a Sue Storm centric movie. And then they'll stooping Galactus at the last minute. You ready for that giant dumpster fire? I am, because I'll make fun of it losing money. But there's nothing happening. Nothing's happening. Not going to work. All right, you know what? We got one more story, but you know what? I'm kind of thinking I'm going to save this for Sunday. I'm thinking I'm going to save this one for Sunday. Yeah. I'm going to save this one for Sunday. It's a panel thing. It's more of a panel one because I want to protect myself. So I'm going to save that one. I'm going to save my last story. So let me edit the title here because I took that one out. We took out that one. We'll talk about the alphabet community in entertainment later because it's a better panel one. So let's just save that there. There we go. Sturm. What are you talking about? There, I changed it, idiot. And I'll change it right here too. Let's just get that right there. Quick little alteration because the title must be accurate to what I talk about. Anyway. All right, so that's it for the topics tonight. Now it's open floor now. Is there anything you guys that I maybe missed today or I haven't talked about? So I unintentionally took the day off because there was nothing much else to talk about. Some of this stuff was what I scrounged together for tonight's show. Because there is news, but it's not news I'm directly covering in videos. I mean, we're on Sunday. We are going to talk about all the continuing stuff surrounding the dialogue of Stellar Blade. We're going to talk about the threats, the disingenuous, the gaslighting by the Marxist stuff. I'll talk a little bit about the Square Enix stuff. I did make the video yesterday, Ariel. I did put up the video yesterday, and we'll talk about it a little more this weekend. Is Square Enix in trouble? I don't think so. Are they're taking a financial loss in their fiscal quarter? Yes, it's a massive. It's $140 million loss. It's terrible. But last year was a horrible year. Their Western divisions, which they have since divested themselves of, who were influenced by DEI bullshit, lost them a ton of money. And what has Square Enix done? They've cut that fat off. They've cut it loose. The dead weight's gone. They're going to scale back, and they're going to focus on their actual IPs that have always made the money. They're going to keep working on good Final Fantasy from this point forward. They're going to stick with Dragon Quest. They're going to stick with the other legacy titles, I think. Somebody said in my comments yesterday, they probably need to get away from mobile gaming. Get away from that shit. I think the era of that type of crap is over. No one wants that shit. You're a console company. Be a console company. Excuse me. Final Fantasy 14. The expansion comes out in 2 months. June 20. Excuse me. God damn it. Speaking too fast. The expansion comes out on June 28th. Everybody who is a Final Fantasy 14 fan is excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's why I got back in. Dermy and the boys, some of the other boys, they're in it too. We're all getting ready. They're not going to be ready for it because they are way, way, way behind me. I'm the only one who's remotely. Maybe Kel does. If Kel does the Kel thing and like grinds hard, he could be ready for it. But I'm the only one who's remotely going to be ready for it in our circle of gamer group. But it's not over because they see what was wrong, and some people, in my opinion, are being disingenuous, and even some of the bigger creators I see out there who told us like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't have gone with DEI." Well, instead of doing a quippy little witty comment, why don't you have an actual discussion about it like I try to have? Why don't you talk about it for months about how they were going to correct course? They announced we're going to make changes. Square Enix saw this coming. They knew they were going to have a financial hit for what I believe is the Japanese fiscal quarter. They say theirs ended in March because usually here in America, the fiscal quarter ends in October. So that must be an Asia thing. But they knew this was coming. They knew it was going to be bad. So they said, we have jettisoned the Western development companies that lost us money and all those games. We have canceled a bunch of games that were connected to all this stuff. We are scaling back to what we're good at. We have gotten rid of certain departments. We have a new CEO. We're going to right the ship. We're going to restructure the company. They've been talking about this for months, but people want to ignore because they want to complain about, oh my God, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Oh my God, it's not a one-to-one. They want to whine about that shit, but they don't want to actually talk about how the game, while it is a remake, not a reboot. I'm sorry, it's a remake, not a remaster. It's a complete reboot. How it is still respectful to the game, respectful to the characters and the story for the most part, and it is a good game. But no, they just want to complain and whine. And in fact, the numbers are showing that while Rebirth has not had a fantastic run, it hasn't been a complete disaster financially. The things that they are getting hurt on financially came before Rebirth. Rebirth just happens to be included in it because it came out in the end of their fiscal year. So it's a lot of disingenuous discussion. We'll talk about this more this weekend. We'll talk about it some more when I have the panel there, because Dre has worked in games. Dre plays games. If depending on who's there, people will also talk about this topic. We'll talk about it some more. But that's my feelings on it. There is a certain level of discourse surrounding this that isn't fair to the topic and just wants to take some glee. And see, that's what happens when you get involved with DEI. Yeah, they knew that's what was going to happen. And they've been saying for months that we were sorry and we're going to try and fix it. So that pisses me off. There is a new Secret of Mana game. Well, it's a Trials of Mana game or whatever. I forgot. There's a new Mana game coming out. And there was, you bring that up, Ariel, surrounding that story, the director of that said, fuck you to the Western woke culture. We're not making this for you. We're making this for our people. And let's be honest, they have lost their fan base in Japan. This is just a Western thing. They have lost chunks of their customers in Japan because they experimented too much with extra shit. They spent too much time playing around with Final Fantasy as a whole until finally getting back to 16, which is a step in the right direction. But you want to hear my thoughts like that, here in the video. We'll talk about more this weekend on the panel. And because I am still a fan of Square Enix. I want them to be successful. I have been critical over the years when they are wrong, when they make a bad game. But I am a fan of the company because they still make good games. They make quality games. Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. We can go back to remake as well. The Mana game looked at a bunch of little things surrounding this stuff as well. Quality. The games are still quality. But some people just want to be bitches, in my opinion. Anyway, all right. So that you got an extra rant out of me on that one, but there'll be more of that this weekend. We're going to talk about that. That is on the docket for discussion, because I do want to talk about disingenuous behavior and people who sometimes just say something to get clicks, or just say something for the joke, for the lulz, not actually realizing, well, considering you have X amount of sway in the social media pop culture sphere, maybe instead of being a jackass, maybe actually say something with a purpose to open discussion. Instead of going, oh, I shouldn't have gotten involved. Maybe do that instead of just trying to be sarcastic. And I see, and I'm not just referring one person. I'm seeing this all over the place, where people just want to shit on it and not have the actual discussion. Just talk about the parasite, the disease, but not talk about the fact that the host is trying to get rid of the poison in its system, making efforts. Excuse me for actually looking at the entire problem and not just trying to be an in the moment clickbaiting, get attention for this shit. Excuse me for actually want to talk about the goddamn topic. I don't like disingenuous behavior. I don't like clickbait behavior. Do I sometimes do a little clickbaity stuff? Sure. but I generally don't. I do not like clickbait. I like to let you know what I'm going to talk about. And if you choose to watch my video or listen to stream, you're going to hear me create a discussion, because that's what I like to do. Create a discussion, not just give you the news. I want to ask questions. I want to ask you questions. I want you to think. I want you to come to your own decision based upon the facts and the logic that I present to you. That is what I want, people. That's what I like. That's what I want to do with the channel. I don't just throw out something and talk about it and then run and then never talk about it again. Makes me sick. I'm annoyed. I am annoyed. I feel like there's a lot of disingenuous behavior when it comes to trying to talk about this stuff. And it bugs me. Bugs me all the hell. All right, you got more out of me on that than I thought you would. Hope you enjoyed that little rant outburst, which was completely unscripted, and I wasn't intending to talk about Final Fantasy tonight. As like I said, I was saving it to come back to it this weekend as part of Roundtable. Anything else? You guys want to toss something else? We got a couple minutes before I'm going to take a break, get up, stretch my legs, because then we got Stellar Blade. And for those of you who came in late, once the stream is over, you will be automatically redirected to my Stellar Blade stream. I looked up how to do that shit finally. So just stay here. If you want to watch me play some Stellar Blade tonight, you'll be shifted right over there, and we will have some fun this evening. Jiggly goodness. Oh, it's jiggly goodness. Eve is beautiful. She is a work of art based on a body that is a literal gift from the gods, a body fit from heaven. And I mean that fit from heaven. Anyway, all right. So any other questions you guys want to throw out there? Got a couple minutes. Otherwise, I'll go over what's left of the week, and then we're going to have our out, and I will get ready for the game. So I'll start. You guys ask your questions. As said, tonight there is Stellar Blade. Tomorrow, probably more Stellar Blade. Friday, probably more Stellar Blade, because we're going to play this until we're done with it, because I'm way behind a lot of other people, because I didn't play it nonstop like other people did for 72 hours. No major videos or reviews planned for the next several days. Doctor Who starts next weekend after Drive-In. Dermy and I on the 12th, or is the 11th? The 11th. God damn it. I always get that mixed up. Let me look real quick. I'm very confused about the days. On the 11th. Yeah, on the 11th, after Drive-In, Dermy and I will be simul-streaming our review of Ncuti Gatwa cosplaying the Doctor. Frank, I didn't quite give up on it. It's just, it takes a lot for me to get to it in terms of sitting down. I mean, I still have 5 episodes to review, and it's not the normal thing, because it's like Fallout. They dropped it all at once. It's one thing when I do it weekly and I go through it. It's another thing to get angry and wonder, why am I doing this? Because that thing's gonna happen for 2 more seasons. Is my reporting on it would just be the roast, and they're just gonna keep batch dropping it. They just changed showrunners. They fired the last guy that was involved. I know that I promised you guys, and I'm going to work towards it, but it's a chore, because I don't get that relief of roasting something that bad. All I get out of that is pure anger when I do it, and disgust. And now I'm at the point where I know it's only going to get worse. So you guys voted on it. I will do my best. I don't want to break that promise. I think about it every day. Oh, do I have something to do? Yeah, I could do that. But then I have to watch it, and then that's going to take. I would burn through as quickly as possible. So I will do my best. I haven't given up on it, but it's a struggle. I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't a struggle. It's one thing to roast something in real time on a weekly basis, and the catharsis that you get from it works itself out, but it's all there, and it just looks at me going, hey, we suck. Hey. Maybe I'll just watch the remainder of it, and I'll give it to you guys on a natural 20, and then I'll edit that section of the show out and drop it as a review. Maybe that's a good way to. If you guys will accept that, then I'm willing to do it like that. If that's an acceptable compromise, just so we can get it off the board, because it's horrible. It's disgusting. It's terrible, and it really is painful. So I'll think about it doing that. If the window is the window to do it is the next couple of weeks, in between as Doctor Who gets started and before June hits, where we get Acolyte and we get Hot D season 2. No, because also I need to work in watching Hot D season 1 so that I'm ready for Hot D season 2. So I can get that done, because and just as a note, when Dermy and I do the Doctor Who reviews, they're going to be live streamed. The stream will remain up, but what I'll be doing from that is I'll take a best of moments clips and I will re-upload some best of moments from the review, because I'm sure I'm sure there'll be some YouTube greatness in that, how we're going to react to it, either from him or me. Because let's be honest, when Dermy and I turn on the shit or we argue about something, it's good YouTube. So when it comes to the Doctor Who reviews, the live stream will be up, it'll remain up, but then expect some clips, some compilations of us ripping into it, because I'm sure there'll be some amusing moments. Anyway, celebrate the rest of the week. Friday, Ballbusters, 11 p.m. Eastern. No driving this weekend because Jed is on the road. He's on a road trip, and therefore can't do the show without him. When we come back, though, as I said, now that we are going to be into May, and we did it last year with the original trilogy, so this year leading up to Star Wars Day, which is actually on a Saturday. Let me double check it real quick. May 25th is indeed a Saturday. So on May 25th, so May 11th, we're watching Phantom Menace. May 18th, we're watching Attack of the Clones. And May 25th, we're doing Revenge of the Sith. The problem is, May 25th, not only do Jed and I have to drive in for Revenge of the Sith, Dermy and I have to review Doctor Who, but then I do the annual real Star Wars Day celebration. That is Star Wars Day, May 25th. May 4th is not Star Wars Day. Fake holiday made up by Disney. Only good thing it's for is to get games cheap on Steam. May 25th. So that's going to be a really busy streaming day for me. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to fit everything in. Jed and I might have to start driving much earlier on that day so that Dermy and I can get the Doctor Who review in. And then the rest of the night, we can do the Star Wars Day celebration stream, where we're just going to have fun and talk about Star Wars. That's gonna be great. But so we got all that. May is gonna be busy. June's gonna be busy. July's gonna be busy. So reviews going crazy with stuff people actually want to see us roast. It's different roasting the Acolyte. It'll be different reviewing Hot D, because that's in the moment, weekly, this and that. And then any minute we're gonna get the announcement. I'm sure in the next couple of months they'll let us know that we're getting Skeleton Crew. And then somewhere along the lines, probably towards the end of the summer, we'll get Rings of Power season 2 announcement. And then that means Mordor Country comes back. If they don't batch drop it, Gary over at Nerdrotic, he did say he has a theory they're going to batch drop Rings of Power. God help us if they batch drop Rings of Power. Motherfuckers. Don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't steal. Don't steal. If it's 8 episodes, don't steal 5 weeks because they'll drop 3 at once. They'll do that. We did that last time. Don't drop 5 weeks of content for me. Don't you dare deny me 5 weeks of ripping on that shit. Sorry, Lyle Hammock, if you're here, you know how I feel about Rings of Power. But either way, that's the rest of the week. Sunday roundtable, 2 p.m. Eastern. Probably a lot of gaming Saturday night. Combination Stellar Blade in the afternoon, early evening, and then when Dermy gets Chatterday going, a bunch of us are probably going to play, and I might even stream Final Fantasy 14. I know I've been promising it, but not everybody's been on, and I want to stream it with us doing shit together. So look forward to that on Saturday night. Probably a bunch of gaming all day because I got nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, no responsibilities. Sunday roundtable. I don't think I don't think I'm on Get Ranked this week. Even though I know the top, I know the genre since I was on last week. Unless Devil needs me, I'm probably not on there. Unless he needs me to help him guest host again for scheduling or purposes. So there, I may or may not be on Get Ranked. I don't think I am though. Either way, then Mellow Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll get back to that. Either way, that's what we got then. That's what we got, guys. That's all I got tonight for you tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Getting back in Natural 20. Hopefully, we won't skip weeks anymore. Hopefully, I'll be able to always come together with the show because I know when it's not here, it loses momentum. But I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are the reason this channel even exists. Thank you for all my OG subscribers and all the new people who came in the past week. Thanks to my shitting on Velma. If you're watching this, thank you for being here. Hope to see you live in stream. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoy the rest of my content. It's going to be a fun summer, I think. We're going to have a good time here, just as we always want to. So once again, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you. Until then, guys, take it easy. I'll see those of you who are going to choose to hang out with me with Stellar Braid in about 19 minutes. I'll see you there. Thank you all, everybody. Take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.